How we doing, everybody on the YouTube? Well, I've had to take a break from the S10 and had to do some work on my boy's truck and help him, and I've had to do some work on the old dually here because I'm gonna start driving it again until I find something else. So what we've done, and I'm still not finished, I got Wagner thermal quiet pads on it. They've been on there for about 2 years. I pulled them off, took them up, lifetime warranty. Got replacements, didn't need them, but we did it anyway. It's got 6 new tires, all been balanced. I've got a new chrome bumper, grill, changed these from sealed beam to the composite lights, updated to the newer style front end. I like the sealed beams because they don't cloud over and everything, but I just don't like the look of it. The truck looks dated, it looks old, so we're going to upgrade it to whatever the newest one is. I think it's a 2007, 2009 front end's what it is. So I got a new set of the updated mirrors with the turn signals. They're power and heated for it. Supposedly all the wiring is there. I just got to poke it through. There's some kind of harness curled up under the dash, I imagine, for the mirrors. Of course, new tires back here, all new wheel bearings, races, seals. I'm lucky my 01 has a Dana 80 and not a Sterling 10 1/4 or 10 1/2. We got new springs, 5,200 pound rated springs. I put new mounts back there because all that was crusted up, so I just cut the mounts off. New mounts, new shackles, new shocks, new brakes. It's kind of hard to see, but there's new rotors in behind there on the U-bolts. And them U-bolts torqued to 196 foot-pounds. So I had to break out the 3/4 drive torque wrench, which I've used maybe all of 2 or 3 times. But that's what I did today. My son and I cut all that out. Got the new springs and everything in it. Plates. Only thing I didn't replace was the overload leaf and the riser for it, which there wasn't nothing wrong with it. Now I got a new fuel tank that's going in it because mine's got a little bit of a leak right where it sets on the skid plate. And I got the skid plate all cleaned up. I'm gonna paint it. Then the next step is I'm gonna go down to Austin Trailer and talk to Mr. Berlin about a new flatbed for it, because I'm not even gonna try to fix this one. It's 11 foot long. It's served its purpose. It was on the truck when I bought it. It needs a new piece of wood put between it. You see back there is a big gap, and the bed actually will bang because the bolts are loosened up in it. So before I go too far, got a little bit of rust that's popped up on it, and I got some under there in the rockers, which on these you can't see the rockers because the door, but I got a little rust spot there I need to fix before it gets away from me. That's already blistered up real bad, so I'm probably going to end up having to put a cab corner in it. That's the only rust on the whole damn truck, and I don't know why that corner's doing that. It's the only spot. We're going to put carpet in it. I got a carpet kit for it. Got some new door panels, the nicer XLT door panels instead of the cheap cab chassis ones. I actually gonna put a stereo in it. The truck, everything on this truck works. Heat, AC, it goes down the road 80 mile an hour. You let go of the steering wheel, it goes straight as an arrow. No rattle, squeaks, bumps, bangs. I'm gonna take this seat that's out of a 96 back out of here. And I've got another seat out of a Super Duty with the console and everything, cloth. It's gray, that I found down at the local Muncie Pick and Pull. It was in really good shape. So I tried to get the front clip off the truck, but somebody had already had claims to it. It was white and everything. But now I had my whole front end for probably $100. But headliner ain't all fucked up in it like you think in a work truck. Belonged to a fence company before I got it. But yeah, it's got 243,776 on the V10. truck goes between add and full when you change oil in it, and that's where it stays. Don't smoke, don't use any oil, don't leak shit. It's been a damn good truck. All I've done is routine maintenance, a heater core, a radiator, and an alternator. And coil packs and plugs. That's all I've done to this truck. Now, one thing is, I don't know if you've got these issues. This thing's broke on me twice. I'm not fixing it a third time. It was like $200 for all the crap from Ford to fix it, and I'm not doing it. I'm gonna take it out. When it did it last time, I was stranded. We had to make a little makeshift thing, and that's what it's been like for the last, I don't know, over a year. A piece of angle, a bolt, a piece of flat bar we found laying around. There's a piece of all thread, and it's literally zip tied to the transmission to hold it on up there. See all the play in it? But you can find reverse, park, and drive, and that's all I need. But I bought one of them B&M truck mega shifters. It's got the little riser and everything, cable operated. It's for a 4-speed Ford overdrive. I'm gonna put in here when I put the carpet in it. I'm not fixing that column shift shit no more. But when I do that too, I'm gonna change these to the chrome ones, chrome mirrors, or I might just keep everything blacked out. Because the headlights are black, the grill's black with the chrome perimeter, and the bumper's chrome. I might just leave them black. So, but that's what I've had to be doing. And all I got left is put the new gas tank, send the unit in it, put it in, hook it up. I'm gonna put new injectors in it, do a tune-up on it, change oil, change transmission fluid and filter in it because it's due again. I do it every 2 years since I've owned a truck. Like I said, we just got through putting new seals, inner and outer bearings, races, rotors, new pads. The calipers I did like 2 years ago on the back of it, so they're fine. Same thing with the front. And the front rotors I did the same time I did the calipers. And then I put new shocks on it a year ago on the front because I actually hit a pothole and that one bust. And then the back two are brand new on it now. So yeah, I'll show you the old springs. There's all the old shit. I did too. I cut the damn leaf spring right off. It was broke anyway, so it don't matter. But you can see how there's where that top leaf was broke. That's why I took them out. That plus, if you look where the rust has got between them and just started sprattling them out, these two leaves are busted, broke off down here, off this end. Same thing on this spring, the bottom two leaves broke on it. There's one of them laying right there. Old shocks. But, yep, old girl had a hard life. And I've had some hellacious loads on it. I pulled into the scrapyard before grossing 22, 24,000. So, yeah, I've had about 20,000 just in weight on a 22-foot trailer behind it. But it wouldn't run down the road, but it'll walk it down the road. It's been a good truck. It's been a very good truck. It's never left me stranded, never failed to start, never failed to go. Like I said, heat works, AC works, everything works on it. I'm going to change the upper and lower radiator hoses because the lower one, the one valve cover has been weeping, I noticed, and run down and kind of softened the hose. So we're going to do the valve cover gaskets while we're in there doing the injectors and everything. Change the upper and lower hoses. It's been 2 years on the antifreeze since I did the radiator and the heater core, so we'll probably dump it, flush it, and refill it. You take care of your stuff, it'll last. But yeah, we're getting a new bed for it because one, rust. It's just, I'm not going to cut it out and replace it. Bed support right there where the wheels are rusting through, and Like right here, it's starting to rust through and pull loose, and it's getting to the point where I don't really trust it to pull the gooseneck anymore. So, not with any kind of load on it. So, it's time for a new bed. I'm probably going to spend on a steel one. I ain't priced one in probably 10, 15 years, but I should be able to get a new one around $3,500. If I could get an aluminum bed for around $5,000, $4,500, you know, a decent used one or even a new one, I don't know what they cost. I gotta go price them. I go to an aluminum bed. As long as it's braced up enough where the gooseneck sits at, where I ain't gotta worry about aluminum fatiguing and popping, because aluminum fatigues and cracks real easy on these damn flatbeds. Guy I worked for, we had a couple aluminum flatbeds, and we ended up going back to steel ones because it started snatching the centers out of the beds where the gooseneck ball was. You know, and you ought to be able to put a damn 1845 on a skid steer behind a truck like this with a flatbed and pull it without worrying about it twisting the damn fucking ball bound out of the bed. But that's what it started doing. And I think there were Alumalite, I think was the name of them, Alumalite or Alumaline. And then we took them back off and went and put Load King. They were flatbeds made by Load King. Steel ones back on them. But one of them was my truck that I drove, my work truck for him. So anyhow, I'm gonna walk in here and show you a little something on the S10. I'm gonna cut this thing off and go inside and sit down for a minute and then hit the shower. But I gotta turn this, oh my God. I cannot get reception on the radio out here to save my ass. Let's turn that off. Alright, I said something about taking that little radiator out of there. That's what's going in there. It's a 2-row, it's like 17 by 18 or 17 by 20 or something. 2 rows, 1-inch tubes. It's a dual pass. So what I'm gonna do is the fittings are gonna come out of the bottom and go underneath and over to the pump. We're gonna come out of the thermostat into this radiator, go across it, out, into this one, up and through it, back out and back to the water pump to return to give me a little more cooling. I've already test fit the grill and everything in here. It'll be fine. I just got to get me some mounts made off these bosses. There's 2 5/16 bosses, top and bottom. And I'll probably make brackets to come off the frame or the bumper mounts, and then make something from here to come up to the core support. But right now I'm waiting on my fittings, my 90s to come out and go down from 1-inch pipe to -16. So I can get the elbows in there so I know how far I got to space it this way. And then once I get that figured out, then I can start making the brackets. Plus I gotta go get my bottle filled. My CO2 bottle's empty for my welder. But then the transmission cooler is gonna move to the back in the bed or under the truck. And then the engine oil cooler, which where I run the cooler before it goes to the turbos, is going to mount right in here on it sideways. I'll make it, when I do this, I'll make something to bolt it to, and then it can sit right here. Might have to make up new lines, but tentatively the training cooler might go right here in the bed, or it might go underneath. I got a little 10-inch electric fan on it, but we're going to go from a 19-row cooler to a 30-row cooler with all the extra load going on the converter and stuff now. All these little -10 lines coming out to the little radiator, they'll go bye-bye. I can reuse these -10 fittings other places. Went to color fittings. I got me 2 more -16 green fittings. Man, these bastards are expensive, $37 a piece. And then got some O-ring fittings. Got a new fuel filter between the new cell and the pump, because the one I had in there, this little Earl's filter was just not flowing enough. So we went to something bigger. Went from dash 10 up to a dash 12 high flow filter. That's the one they recommend for that ProStar pump on either side of it if you don't have the filter built into it. New 10-gallon cell, because the foam in this cheap Amazon cell was starting to deteriorate and there was a bunch of it in the filter and the screen. Thank God it didn't get through it to the carburetor. But it should be here tomorrow, and then we're going to flip it. That works fine for hot rod, but when you want your inlet back here so it throws the fuel to the inlet. So that's my logic anyway. So we're going to flip it around. I'm probably going to come in here and cut some 5-inch holes in the sides of the bed there, up here and over here, and put screen over them, stainless screen, because when I put the bed cover on here, I want everything to be able to ventilate air through here, especially if that train cooler's in there. But again, it might go under the truck. New valve covers are on. I'm just waiting on my logo. We're going to see. I ordered a real heavy vinyl decal that's supposed to be stick to this crinkle coat stuff. So we're going to see with our logo on it in colors. I thought about sending them out and having them engraved, but I ain't going to all that. They give me a lot more room now. I can get down in here and put my hands between the V-band and the valve cover, where before the V-band was like almost touching. Now I can put my hand down, clear down in there. So yep. And I think they look better. I know everybody, you know, my son says he liked the other ones because the lettering was done to match the truck and everything, but I like that. It's cleaner looking, matches everything better. I personally think it does, but I'm gonna let it go there. I'm tired. I cut 2 springs out, put 2 springs in, new bearings, new hubs, pounded races in and out. You know, I'm tired. Front brakes, front and back. I was going to try to tackle the gas tank, but I'm just not up to doing it. It can wait a day or two. I got something to drive. If I need the truck, then I guess I'll just have to come out and do it. But so I just want to share that with everybody. Everybody stay safe. God bless. And when stuff starts progressing in, we'll video it. But I wanted to do video all of this, but all I've done basically was take the grill out, so ain't really showing you a whole lot, and I set a radiator in there. But when we start to do all this and I might get it all done and make the brackets, I'm just going to set camera up and you can watch me. So everybody, again, stay safe, God bless, and I will put more up when I got more to show you. Later.